I am brushing my beautifully long imaginary hair like as if I was a mermaid and I had a mermaid hairbrush. So this is what we're making today, this fabulous bejeweled hairbrush. And get all of your materials ready and I'll see you in a moment.
Okay, hello everyone. How is everyone doing today? I'm so glad that you're joining me. We are going to be making something very unusual and different. It's called a mermaid hairbrush. So if you are a creature of the sea and you are one of those interested creatures of the sea and you are looking around your environment and you are appreciating everything around you and you're saying, oh my God, this shell is so gorgeous. Look at these colors, how nature made this shell with all these ridges. Or if you're saying, oh, I found these gems on the floor. They're really sparkly. I love sparkly things. You're collecting, right? Which people do, not just creatures under the sea. Any little thing that catches your eye that you find interesting, you collect, you put it on a shelf or in a bowl, in a drawer, even though it may not have any use at all. So we are playing a little bit of a facetious game here saying mermaids have created these hairbrushes out of beautiful things that they have found underwater. It is also something that we could make on our own with beautiful things that we find in our everyday lives. On top of that, they are useful. I have short hair and I can use this sometimes, but I would use this to decorate a table or give as a lovely gift. They are intricate, they're made of natural materials and artificial materials, anything you like. So let's just quickly go over what you have in your kits, okay? And then we'll talk more about this because you can pretty much create your own unique twist on what you have. So firstly, in your kit, you have a wooden hairbrush, like a real wooden hairbrush that you could use to brush your hair every day. We're going to decorate it. The things that are included in your kit are, of course, a beautiful scallop shell. Isn't this gorgeous? Um, you have some smaller shells, which I'm going to dump out right now. Okay, really, really tiny nautilus shells. These are called white arc, the ones here. They are very, very pretty. We have a random collection of gems. So these are tiny gems. Sometimes you get like a little bow. Sometimes you get something else. There's a little sand in there probably because this is also a mermaid type of underwater project. You have gems that we could use to decorate or outline our brushes when we get towards the end. I'm using green today because I've already used pink and blue. I want to use green. I love green. It's one of my favorite colors. Now, the most important ingredient in all of these things here is this last cup. This is, it feels like clay. It's actually not clay. It is spackle. What is spackle? So if you've ever seen somebody fix a hole in the wall or fix a crack in the wall, they are using spackle. This is lightweight spackle. You could feel it's very light. It dries hard, but it doesn't bleed. It doesn't droop. It doesn't, like if you put like slime on something, you know how slime kind of drips down the edges. This will stay in place. This is going to keep everything on your hairbrush. And it's kind of like a cloud. So I'm going to just push all these things out of the way. And I'm going to just talk to you about this brush. Okay, firstly, it is wood. Secondly, these are the things, everyone has random objects in their kit.
very similar to this. If you have something special that you want to include, if you have beads from a broken name bracelet, if you have a charm from a necklace that has a broken charm, if you have a bag charm that has like a little thing hanging off that you want to include, you can include anything onto this. This is what I've given you. We could make something beautiful with this, but if you want to add a little more personalized charm to it, you can absolutely do that. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to use our fingers. This stuff, you could just wash it right off. It looks a bit like whipped cream. It's kind of cloudy. We're going to just, and you should probably have a paper towel. I didn't mention that. And I don't even think I have a paper towel here. But I'm going to use my finger. You could also use a back of a spoon or a knife. I like to know how thick it is. I don't mind using my fingers on things. I like it when I get a little messy during crafts. It's part of it. It's part of the experience of crafting. So a little more. I'm basically covering this square area with a thick layer of spackle, white and thick. Now, if you have other things, let's talk about other things. You could add glitter, pony beads. Maybe you have like a broken beaded necklace from like a Mardi Gras or a holiday. You like it, but you can't use it anymore, or something you haven't used in a long time that you don't have a use for, but you still like it. This is the best time to think about what you might add if you want to add something. So right now I'm just completing a thick layer. You could see it's thick. It looks like cake frosting. You're going to have a little bit left over, I think, which is okay. What I'm going to do with that leftover is just put the cap on, but that might be good for you if you intend on doing other things with it, to put the cap on and save it, because you will know how it works after this project is over. Okay, so now I'm done, just like that, and put my cap back on. All right, I do think I have, do I have a paper towel? Yeah, I do have a paper towel. So if you have a paper towel, fine. If not, no big deal. I'm just wiping it off anyway. There's still white stuff on my hands. I'm going to center my scallop shell right in the center, right there. And the way that this stuff works is that it's soft, so you can push down onto it, and this will keep whatever you put on it in place. So I happen to love this. I like the shell because we're doing this mermaid hairbrush, and we want it to be kind of ocean themed, even though we're including other things. All right, we also have these white arc. All right, now when you put your white arc on, you can arrange it the way you want it to be. You could put it facing down, facing up, a combo, whatever you want to do. I'm going to put mine facing down. I have two bigger ones and a smaller one. So I'm going to center them. I'm going to do the small one in the middle, just like that, push it down. And the two bigger ones on either side, one on this side and one on this side. Very pretty. And lastly, I have all these tiny little nautilus shells, and I'm going to fill in these empty spaces in between the shells with these shells. And I'm going to put them in a way that gives me the idea of direction. So I'm going to make them point out. I'm going to make them, oh, I got a really tiny one. That makes me happy. I'm going to make them stick out from the crevices. Going to maybe go all the way around. Here's like a little area here. I'm going to put a couple in there. I'm going to just take my time. Now is the time to take your time and fill in some shells. It's okay if it sticks out.
when it has dimension and it starts to come out, it's also okay. Let me lift this up a little more so you could see it up close. See our cake frosting look, and now I'm sticking shells in between so that I don't see that cake frosting so much. Meantime, we have all these other things that we could put on here. I happen to like the shells, so I'm going to do a few more shells around the edges to give me that shell mermaid appearance. Some beautiful mermaid with beautiful long hair. And mermaids are all genders, just saying. We're going to assume they all have long, beautiful hair. Or I guess a siren, right? I think the Odyssey just came out. Sirens are really cool right now. Anything under the ocean. I'm going to turn this so I can put more shells. They will brush their hair, right? They're going to have to brush their hair. Their long locks that kind of move around really nicely in the water as they are swimming. So I am just taking my time, as you should also, and I am doing little designs with my shells, making sure all my shells are in a shape. I just did these down here. They're all pointing out. Very nice. I have some more. I think I'm going to do the same thing at the top. I'm going to put them here at the top. So now is the time if you have something you want to add to this while this whipped cream spackle is still wet, to add something. So if you have beads, these are beads from a name bracelet right here that I put in. These are some broken necklace beads that I put in. You could do anything you want. Maybe you have shells from going to the beach and you want to use other shells instead of shells I gave you. You could add those. This is a completely changeable craft. You don't have to do what we're doing. There you go. I think I'm done with this part. Okay. That one's not sticking because that's broken. Okay. So now I've done shells all around the top and the bottom. And now I'm going to look and see what do I have mixed in my beads. So in my beads I have a lot of rhinestones, and little pearls that I'm going to use. So I use my finger. So I could push on it really hard. It'll come up on my fingertip and then I can just push it into the spackle and it will stay. I just got to make sure it comes off my finger first. Here's a pearl. I'm going to put a pearl right here. What else do I have? Another rhinestone. I'm going to stick that right there. It's hard to see in this light, the colors. This is gold. This is a white pearl. This is a very tiny fish. I'm going to stick it on that side. What else do I have? Here's a bow. I'm going to put the bow underneath my pearl, and so on, until you're happy with what you have and you've used all your little bits and pieces. And oh, I found another shell, a little gold shell. I have some white rhinestones. I have another heart. I'll stick that randomly over here. Whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to have a pattern. It actually might look better if it doesn't have a pattern because it looks a little more sparkly and random. Let me get another gem. Put a gem down here. Put another gem over here. You have enough to fill in all the crevices and all the spaces and have a nice sparkly mermaid hairbrush when you're done. So I'm going to just do this for a little bit longer. Try to use up all the different things that I have. Oh, here's another bow. I totally missed this bow. Where can I put this? Put this over here. I have extra shells that I might just stick in there. Here's a butterfly, little rhinestones, flower. So the way this works is we're going to let this sit, preferably overnight, to get the best result. And when I say that, I mean the best results here. There's a lot of white showing on this particular brush, but if I touch that white here in between, it's hard. So this stuff gets hard, all right, which is great. And when it gets hard, it keeps everything in it. Everything stays where you put it. So take your time and put all your things in there, all your little doodads and flowers and sparkles, and think about what you're going to do with this. Are you going to keep it and use it yourself? Are you going to give it as a gift, because it makes a wonderful gift for somebody in your life? Up to you. Up to you. All right, so excuse me, I think I'm done. Now, in order to, one second, talking too much. Okay, in order to finish this off, it's pretty the way it is. It has all these shells. It's very detailed. It's hard to see from far away, but to finish it off, we are going to use our gemstones to give it like kind of a framing. These are like a tape. You take them off like a tape. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. And we're going to line our brush carefully with the gems. So you're going to just stick them along the edge. And I really like the green because it makes the pink of the shell stick out very nicely. Where I stopped, I'm going to just continue with the next strip, pushing as I'm going along so it stays where I want it to be. Okay, you can see. I'm going to do the other side. Okay, I'm going to start where I left off, and I'm just going to continue all the way around, gently, gently. Look, I'm too far away from the camera. Gently, gently. Ooh, a little profile. And I'm going to just keep going until we're done. So other things you can do besides adding your own elements as we go along is to paint. If you have paint at home, you can paint it. If you're giving it as a gift, you can paint their name on it, paint your name, initials, a flower, happy birthday, paint markers, completely changeable. The more personalized and full, the nicer I think the gift is. There you go. So look, I have a tiny space here where I've run out of gems. This tape, gem tape or whatever you want to call it, can be broken off. So if I just take a couple gems, I break them off, it's still sticky, and I could just fill in that empty space with the gems and it will stay. Okay. I have some extra shells. I'm just going to go and add some filler here and maybe a little filler on this side. I have some more gems. I could fill it in around there too. Did I get everything? I think so. I think I got everything. I might have some left over. You could put, if you have leftover, you could put it in. So now you could see once it's finished and this is dry, now you can use it. You can use it as a brush when you get out of the shower, before you go in the shower, every day. So this one's just shells, only shells. This one is a combination of just beads and stuff I had around the house. This one that we've made has way more gems, a lot of gems and nice shells. This one I painted with a regular acrylic paint. This one I had a couple gems left over from a project. I stuck it there. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. You could also add more white stuff and put more things there, but you will have to wait for it to dry. But all in all, I think that this project turned out really wonderfully. And thank you for joining me. I really hope that you are happy with your project and how it turned out. And wherever it goes, whether it's your own room or to somebody, I know that either you or they will love it. And you can brush your beautiful, beautiful locks with it. So thank you, and I will see you at the end.
All right. So, how did you do? Did you have fun? This was a nice program that creates something really, really beautiful that you could use for yourself or give it to somebody. And if you have nice hair, you could brush your own hair with it and then put it somewhere where it can be seen. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Lisa of I Create Programs. I have an Instagram at Create Programs and a website, icreateprograms.com. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.